Yeah. Welcome to How Can She Snap? This is the Marvel Snap podcast dedicated to the filthiest of casuals. I'm the kid, one half of the Super Snap Bros, here with my brother from the same mother, Mr.
No big deal. We made it.
We made it. We got a special guest today. We got a nice, spicy episode. We have Mr. GunnyT with us. He is an avid card gamer. He's had a history in Magic and Hearthstone. He's also, I might say, a Marine gunnery sergeant.
Simplify.
The guy is... he's a Marine. The guy's a Marine. The guy, it gets more done in 2 hours than I probably do in 2 weeks, and I've said that before. He's unbelievable. He's the creator and the founder of the Big Dumb Idiots deck that he took right to top 500 in the global ladder. Jim 10 Snap all day. He just launched a new YouTube channel. Check it out. Sub to him. All the links are going to be below. We have our friend and yours, Mr. GunnyT. Welcome to the pod, my friend. Welcome to the pod. How are you?
Yo, thanks for having me here. I am really excited for this episode. We've been chatting some online. Now I finally get to see your lovely faces and chat on the podcast here. Super excited.
Yeah, sorry that you have to actually see our faces instead of listening to us. I have a face for radio, so.
All right.
You want to tell people where they could find you, your socials, and
Yeah, sure. So I just started my YouTube channel. It is Snap Tactics. That's how you'd be able to find me there. And I came out with my first episode, which is the 12 best tips to help you climb to infinite. And then also you can find me on X with the Chad USMC.
Oh yeah, and he's a pretty humble guy. I mean, like his on Lambie series and KM Best Discord, they all pinned all of his tactics and stuff. Very, very good, very in-depth guide, and probably you're gonna win that deck competition from Marble Snap too. I know.
That'd be pretty sweet. Thanks for you're the one that pointed that out to me. I had done all this work because I mean, you saw I gave you a bio for today and typed out a whole bunch of stuff. I typed out these tips before. I wrote an entire guide that I had no plans to do anything with it for this deck. Yeah. And then you're like,
it's amazing.
You do realize there's a competition that they're looking for exactly this, right? Like, oh, well, yeah. I guess so. This is just in the notepad on my phone.
Yeah, well, you had you have like paragraphs and paragraphs of literature of like in-depth guide versus every matchup, and I'm like, man, the other people probably just write like, oh, just snap on ego or something, So
yeah.
it was just, I was like, dude, you gotta post this, you gotta win. Last time I checked, you were winning. I haven't checked in a few days.
I think it's I've got 25 of the little plus things, and then over 30. Just like emotes all together, and I think that's how they count it. I'm not really too sure, but it was fun. Like I'm just excited to be in the space and some of the recognition
in the mix
the deck has gotten. And I gotta you two here, right? Like GTS started with the kid, right?
Yeah.
Jim Tan Snap, like that was
Jim Tan Snap.
So funny. It fits the deck so well because like, what other deck do you just? I want to play big dude, hammer curls while they cook.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. It's amazing, and it works.
It does. I think,
we'll get it.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna say we'll get into that deck, in a little bit.
Sure.
Let me just say with the rest of the episode, we're gonna actually talk about 2 things that we like and dislike from a few different categories, including cards, decks, locations, and the Snap economy. And then, actually, I don't think I even told you guys this, so this is gonna be a nice surprise. I made some of those fun little AI images again.
Yes,
baby.
I was so excited.
We're back.
That was like the number one thing I wanted to do here. Like, you have to keep doing these.
I made some. They're so fun. So I made them. And then we'll talk some more smack and get into it. Let's get it. The kid. All right. No big deal, GunnyT. How the hell are you guys?
Awesome.
You go ahead, buddy.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, let's get into instead of talking about the meta and stuff right away, let's talk about your deck. I want to kind of get into that before.
Okay.
Because sure. Jim Tan Snap, that's what I call it. It's just big dumb idiots. Yeah. But
Jim Tan
this deck is it's because we were joking around about it. It's got 0 armor, Quake, Maximus, Cosmo, Gladiator, Warpath, Atuma, Ronin, Blob, Scar, and Destroyer. I love the Warpath in here because like you hardly ever see that in there. And then the more I play this deck, the more I really want that Maria Wolf variant with Warpath. It
Yeah.
looks so sick, and I'm like, oh. But yeah, how did you come up with this?
So I originally saw an Ika deck a while ago featured on Glazer's show, Snap Judgments, on one of his YouTube shows, and it was playing Zero with a big dumb guy like Doctor Octopus, I think was in there, maybe Red Skull, and then topped off with Destroyer. And I loved the deck. It was fun to play, but I think it was just a little underpowered. It wasn't quite putting out the stats that we need to, and several things happened since then. So one was Maximus got changed, right? So that gives us another big body. Gladiator went up a little bit, and with his 1 point of power makes him kind of good. And then really Scar. I think Scar was the missing piece there, because this deck has a blob in it because it's a good body for its cost, but it's not a blob deck. Really, it's a Scar deck. I really believe, other than decks that just want a big body like Hela or maybe the Thanos decks, this is the best Scar deck that's actually trying to do the Scar thing. Yeah, so I just took the idea there. Lambie talking about just some of the best cards per stats. He had Maximus and Ronin in one of his decks that I had seen, and just those two things clicked with me. If I could drop a Ronin on turn 5 into a Scar and a Maximus on turn 6, that's 21 points of power with those 3 cards alone being added to the board on turn 6, and not even counting however big Ronin is before then.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous play to begin with. Even just like it's not like too hard to get Scar a 2 power either.
No, it's not.
Like to have him, or not 2 power, 2 energy. And even a lot of times playing this deck, you can get him to 0 as well.
Yeah, there are definitely.
If you have like like Monster's Isle, like Nidavellir, any location where you're getting plus power, like the Chadiator, he gets up to 10 quite easily, and it's like, it's pretty sweet. It's pretty like, people don't understand. Like, you have a 0 power Scar, it's like you win that game. Like,
I feel like this deck isn't popular enough to where folks really know what's happening with it. So by the end of the game, you can kind of steal cubes because they think you've like run out of energy. Like, how many big dudes can this guy play? And you're like, well, there's still more.
Well, it's like a pure Scar deck, right? Like I think any deck that's playing like a 4/10 is like, that's a Scar deck, right? Yeah. Like, you got a 2-man Warpath in there, like that. I think that's the mark of a true Scar deck. I think a few people were trying stuff like this at the beginning of Scar, but then they all just went, I'll just play Thanos and just put them in Thanos. It just devolved into full degeneracy of just Thanos block John, and nobody ever looked back. And then I think with the blob nerf too, like, this deck was always like a 620 blob, right? So now just everybody's got a 620 blob. So you're kind of just matching them. I think that's pretty sick.
Yeah,
too.
It pretty much now just is the same size as Thanos' blob, which is kind of cool. Another thing that I really think is particularly special about this deck is it is super redundant. It has a whole lot of things that kind of do the same thing, which makes its floor really, really high. And what I mean by that is, whenever say a combo deck is dirtling around and they don't draw the exact pieces they need, they end up just kind of not really doing great, right? They can still put some power on the board, they can still win some games, but when this deck isn't firing off on all of its cylinders, it dirtling around is still dropping 10 energy or 10 power bodies. So that's a hard like the floor of this deck is higher than a lot of the floors of other decks.
Yeah, if you see like Phoenix Force on 5, like I was playing Conquest against Phoenix Force guy today, a lot of time you have to play the Phoenix on 5. Yeah. Or you see like Mr. Negative on 4, like not ramped out. And even if you just have like a mid kind of average, you're not nutting or the crazy Scar combos or anything, but you just have like an average kind of play line with this deck, right? You could just kind of wipe these combo decks up.
Yeah,
that's what you're kind of saying.
And on the flip side of that,
clean up easy wins.
The one kind of negative part here is if a deck is able to pop off and go bigger, like you don't really have an answer to that. You do have a limit of how much power you can put onto the board. So if somebody pulls off their crazy tribunal combo, like you're done. The Hela decks that end up putting all of the things out, like, they're gonna outstat you. But in general, it just kind of floats in like a little bit of a nice niche space where it can do better than a lot of the mid-range decks. It's more consistent than some of the combo decks. And then really just, loses here and there whenever decks are popping off.
Yeah, and nice to see too. I mean, you know, you are selling the tech short a little bit. You got Armor, Cosmo, and Quake in here, right?
True.
So at least it gives you a fighting chance against these big power decks, right? You could scam wins, especially like the Destroy is like the most popular deck.
Yeah.
That deck could absolutely pop off with power, but you got Armor and Cosmo, so you just probably wreck.
Yeah, I wreck Armor
matchup,
pretty
right?
much. Like if they get it out early, like sure they can take home victory. But if I can trap them on a couple lanes, like they're kind of done for. And it's funny that you do say those are tech pieces because I kind of forget they're tech pieces because I use them proactively for my deck. Right, I want the Armor to prevent my Atuma and Destroyer from blowing up my stuff, my Cosmo to stop my on reveals from going off. But yeah, you can definitely use it, and I have used it proactively against my opponent.
As a degenerate combo player myself, you don't see the pain you're inflicting on your opponents. You know, this like these are like Iceman on steroids. You know, like you put a Cosmo in a lane, especially put it in the middle. I played like 20 Grandmaster decks this week. You put a Cosmo in the middle, like GG, man.
I've been liking my middle Cosmo lately. I get angry faces at it.
It's true.
Yeah, nobody plays Cosmo now too. It's great. It's a beast of a card. Like
I've been like the last few days I've just been like being an idiot on the ladder and just like tanking my rank, doing stupid stuff with like Junk and Galactus and just dumb things and just having fun. If I go on a big losing streak, I'm like, all right, I want to start winning. I just come back to this deck because it's just great. It works so well in the meta right now, especially with the last OTAs. Destroyer got a little buff, and then with Blob getting nerfed. I mean, like you said, no big deal before. It's like the 670 Blob Thanos is now like they're all 620, so it's like it brings everything in line, and so it's just really nice.
Yeah, it was such a clean nerf.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, we love that
change. The Blob nerf was sick.
Phenomenal change.
Yeah. What do you think is like a replaceable card in here? What would you switch? What's like tech slot? Like Quake?
Yeah, I mean Quake is your easy tech slot, right? You can put in Shadow King. The hard part about your tech slots here is you have to it can't be a Shang-Chi, and I really don't like Shadow King because of Cosmo and Armor, right? You're killing your lanes there. Like I really want to run a version of this deck with Alioth. This deck gets priority hardcore, but you can't use Alioth in 2 of the lanes, so it really kind of defeats the purpose. Like I'd love to just replace Blob with Alioth or something. That'd be sick. So that's why I like Quake can steal some locations in particular, and also it kind of has roles throughout the curve, right? So if you play it on turn 6 to steal a location, like that's awesome. But there's sometimes the location will pop off that on turn 3 destroy all the cards here, and you could do that kind of on curve and snipe 1 or 2 of your opponent's cards. Like that's pretty awesome too.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah, Scar Quake turn 6 is insane.
Oh, yeah. I literally didn't think of that. 6 is a 2-power Scar, and you do Scar Quake Maximus with Ronin on board. And then you flip it. What's the location that all of your power here is on all the other lanes?
Oh, Nexus.
Yeah, Nexus. I did that.
Yeah,
like 80 power. It was nuts. Yeah, I don't think it was that much.
I had a few Luke's bar moments with Quake and with this deck, which is hilarious. Just sniping them off, and then they rage quit, obviously. But they say the one weakness of this deck that I found, when Magneto was really popular, you had to be careful about Magneto, especially with Atuma and Warpath. So I got caught out a few times with Magneto, where I'm like, and just Atuma dies, and you're like, crap.
Yep,
once you realize that, you're fine. And then, like you said, if people somehow go bigger than you with these big combo decks, you don't really have an answer to that, right? Nope. There's no Shang-Chi. There's nothing like that. It's just you take your lumps, you're big dumb idiots, go back to the gym, and they live to fight another day.
Yeah, I normally try to play out Gladiator early on those. Anytime somebody plays like a magic out to make a 7th turn, like, all right, well, Gladiator's coming down because I'm going to snipe out whatever dumb thing you want to play. The only thing it doesn't kill in that deck is the Tribunal.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, you're trying to shoot an Iron Man or something like that. Yeah. Get him out of there.
Yeah, I love it. Well, that's dude, and congrats on top 500 global. Like that's sick accomplishment. And this deck, I hope it blows up, man. I mean, I hope it does, and I hope it doesn't, because I kind of like it not being so popular. Because then I get to be
kind of excited for this deck. I mean, imagine for deck creators out there, a lot of them are the same. Like new cards can always make this better, but this is such a free a free deck, like whatever 4-power dude that comes out with 10 power is a consideration. Whatever 6-power dude that comes out that makes a lot of power, like it's a consideration. So anytime they print a new card that has good stats for energy, then it's just a consideration for this style of deck.
Yeah, and I wonder too if there's going to be other options that go in here. Like there's that Hope Summer card coming out, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen that one, Gunny?
Yeah,
that's like you play on it, you get
does.
+2 power. Like, so what you could do, like Hope on 3, and then I don't know, you just play on that on 4, and then you could do like two more 10 powers on 5, and then you have a free scar, right? Like Hope is going to give you a free scar every single time. Right?
It's a card. It's a card that's not going to come out in the way that it is, because
it better
no
not.
fucking way. It's a 3/3. Whenever you play a card in the same lane, get +2 energy next turn.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, it's batshit crazy. Yeah, but in this deck, I mean, if it does come out like that, I'm just saying you could jam them in here
true,
easy. Yeah. You get free scars all day.
Free scars all day.
I love it. Yeah, free scars. Free scars, that's the best. When it gets to 0, I'm like, I start drooling on the screen. It's amazing. Did you pick up Grandmaster?
I did pick up Grandmaster, yep. And actually, I mean, I would love.
All right, what do you think about him?
I think Grandmaster is awful.
Yes.
Yeah, it's probably bad. Yeah,
but there's a big but here, right? I think Grandmaster hasn't found a good home yet. But I think it's just a card that if anybody picks up, like it's just going to be great to have. There's going to be some busted deck that comes out in the future, and we all know the card acquisition for for these Series 5 cards is difficult. So there's going to be some busted combo out, and you're going to be like, oh my god, I want to do the big thing, but I can't do it because I didn't pick up the Grandmaster. So I think it's a good pickup. From here on out, like any on reveal style deck, you're just gonna have to say, does Grandmaster break this?
Yeah, it's like Iron Lad, right? Like when Iron Lad came out, you're like, Iron Lad's got nice stats, right? But it's like, any on reveal that comes out, you're like, man, Iron Lad can just be broken with this thing, right?
Yeah, I saw,
or not on reveal, any card really. I know Iron Lad's not just on reveals, but yeah.
I don't remember who made it. The first place I saw it was Hoagland was playing a deck that would ramp into either Grandmaster Doom or Grandmaster Eliath, and that thing looked pretty sick. It was okay. And then there's the best version right now is the Darkhawk version, but I played it a bunch. Lambie played it some today. Lambie was playing it today on stream, and then he took out Grandmaster because he just wanted something better. Like he was streaming with the Grandmasters, like, all right, well, because it's true. Like whenever I played the deck, every time I drew Grandmaster, I was like, but this could just be a card that matters.
Could be a Jeff, right? Could just be Jeff.
Yeah, that's what he said. He was like, should this just be Jeff?
Yeah.
What I found, because I was going a little hard into this this piece, what I found was I just wanted tech pieces. I had no tech pieces in the deck. I was playing a Zabu deck that just wanted to put power on the board, and I mean, other decks do that better.
Yeah, he doesn't feel like a good card right now at all. Like you said, like the on reveals are like printed like candy in this game. So there will be something in the future where he will be good, and because he's not great right now, Second Dinner probably will buff him because they love doing that kind of stuff. Maybe make him a 2/1 or something. I don't know. But he is a lot of fun. Yeah, I will say.
Let me.
I've been having a lot of fun with him.
Let me touch on the first thing Gunny was saying there with the what seems to be the nastiest combo now, and I agree with you guys. I don't think this is good. But just for the people who don't know, I mean, this day one Grandmaster, maybe people didn't even pick him up, right? He's 6K. He costs a lot. Yeah. Basically, you need 3 kind of stars to align, right? You need Sarah, Eliath, and Grandmaster, and then the 4th star that needs to align, but your whole deck is built around this, obviously, similar to the GunnyT deck we're just looking at, is priority. You absolutely need priority. So you play Sarah on 5, and you hope you retain priority with a 5/4, and then you play Eliath Grandmaster, and you blow up 2 lanes. So that's the combo. You could play it as a lockdown deck, Miss Marvel, whatever you need to do priority. And that's something that people seem to be having some success with. But like you said, still a little bit underwhelming. But obviously, take the most broken on reveal effects in the game. Eliath is right up there with all of them. And hey, how about we blow up 2 lanes? That's literally auto win every time.
Yeah, those decks also run wave too. You can wave on turn 5, and you still get the 6-drop and the Grandmaster that you can use. Mm-hmm. And they also run Doctor Doom, so you can Doctor Doom instead of Elias based on what you know. Like even if you don't have priority, I guess you can Doom, right?
Then you Doom, Then you could double Doom. Doctor Doom, Grandmaster, bots everywhere. But and also like I was saying earlier, like that's why you have Armor and Cosmo in a deck. Like you could just own the strat, like you own all these strats. But go ahead, Gunny.
Yesterday, Lambie was trying out the bounce version, which I mean, it's just like it's a good. I mean, it's another on reveal piece in there, either bouncing your cards again or maybe doing another forge or something. But I think again, you don't really need that redundancy there, and it really hurt my brain just watching him do it. Like at one point, what did Lambie say? He was like, "Hold on, guys, I think I might be able to win. I just have to figure it out first." So in his stream, I typed in like, "This is one way to find out that I know I will never be able to play this deck."
Yeah. Once you bounce the Grandmaster, like shit gets pretty real, right? Once you got that 1 power Grandmaster in hand with a bunch of other ones and zeros, it's like, oh boy,
it was just silly.
Yeah, I was running him in junk lists, and having a ton of fun with that. There was one line where I did. I had obviously a Galactus in my junk list. I think I played. What was it? It was. I forget. Something on 3. I think it was Debris.
You probably got it there, kid. Why don't you just pull it up on the screen?
I'll pull up the list, but I forget my line that I played. This list actually, where is it? This one. This one I actually was positive cubes with Grandmaster. I think it was the only one.
Yeah.
I think I played Black Widow on 3. I forget what I played on 3. It was Black Widow or Debris.
Yeah.
And then I played Hazmat Grandmaster on 4, and then Annihilus on 5. And then, it was Debris on 3, Hazmat Grandmaster on 4, Annihilus on 5, and then their lane was clogged and Galactus.
That's crazy.
It was gross. It was filthy.
That's the one you shared the image of?
Yeah. Yeah,
that was Debris. You did a Debris for that one.
They were negative a whole bunch in that lane.
Yeah. Oh man, I was laughing so hard that game. I'm like, I had to screenshot him. I was on my computer. I took a picture with my phone. I forget what I did. I took a picture of my computer screen with my phone. I was like, this is hilarious, man. With like tears in my eyes.
I've seen the X post for that.
Yeah. So like that, like Grandmaster with Black Widow's kind of filthy. They get 2 Widow's bites, and then with Debris, it's pretty filthy too. There was a few times I clogged myself with Debris. I didn't realize I didn't do the math, and I'm like, shit. And then so this clogging was pretty fun.
Now I wonder if
like macro. Oh, go ahead.
I wonder if there's so everybody's trying to break Grandmaster right now, and kind of like what I did with Big Dumb Idiots, where I didn't try to break Blob. I just played him in kind of like a fair Blob shelf, if you could ever call Blob fair. I wonder if there's like just a good enough deck, which is like, hey, Grandmaster makes this a little bit better.
This is one that I kind of built right away before he came out. It's kind of like just a Ravonna Darkhawk shell. I'm sure this list has been made 1,000 times, but he seemed to do okay in this one.
I tried to do.
He's 1 power with Ravonna.
I tried to do a Ravonna list with Grandmaster and Darkhawk doing rocks, but I had Professor X in it. So I was trying to lock down a lane, like either throw down a Black Widow with a Professor X over the top of it, or just throw some trash in there. Miss Marvel was in there as well with the throwing a Darkhawk underneath that Professor X, and then using Miss Marvel and stuff. But I was just trying to use Grandmaster. 1 power Grandmaster is pretty sweet whenever you're doubling up the Black Widow or the Rock Slide.
Yeah, it's nice. Even like you can even do Korg, Beast to bounce other stuff back too, to get a second Beast.
Yeah, this looks pretty similar to the list I was running. I think the difference would have been Green Goblin and Beast weren't there. Instead, it was or Doctor Doom. So it was Miss Marvel. I think it was actually almost exactly what I'm looking at here. But it was Miss Marvel, Professor X, and then maybe Zabu. Maybe Zabu and Iron Lad instead of Iron Man, something like that.
Yeah, that's probably much better. But I had to do this so that I could do Black Widow, Ravonna into Black Widow, into Grandmaster Beast into the middle, and just give them 3 Widow's bites and just be a bad human.
Why don't you just do Absorbing Man at that point?
Because it's the new card and I had fun with it.
No, I mean, like you do Black Widow, you do Absorbing Man, and then you do Grandmaster, bringing the Absorbing Man 3 turns in a row,
It definitely could.
Never draw.
Never draw.
That'd be great. That would be good.
Yeah, you make a pretty good point, Gunny, where it's like, it seems like his best win rate deck right now is like it's like a Darkhawk type of list.
Yeah.
But then it's the Darkhawk list better to just cut the Grandmaster anyway, right? Like we don't know. And then it does seem like he's doing some work in lists, like at least in my experience and what I've seen around, like Silver Surfer.
Yeah, I saw that
he
list
feels
today.
like he actually matters in Silver Surfer, right? The problem is it's a Silver Surfer deck, like so. I don't know how good that is. The Eliath combo, obviously, and I'm finding the Thor Jane Foster, Jane Jaw type of deck. Really good in that deck. I just don't know how good that deck is, and do they need Beta Ray Bill, whatever his name is, to come through? Like, do we need that card too? That's been my best brew so far with him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so are the decks not good enough, or maybe just a 2-0 absorbing like just not that great? Like I don't know. It's an interesting question. I think we're all like scrambling to try to figure that out.
Yeah, as soon as we find an on-rate card, so I think what the decks really want is you want to find like a deck that really wants to double 1 or 2 on reveals, right? So if you have Absorbing Man and Grandmaster in a deck, and the goal is to double up like 1 or 2 on reveals, and you just draw any of those combos and it's solid, like then that's whenever you're cooking with this card.
Yeah, that's like the Surfer deck is exactly what you're describing, right?
Yeah,
you have
You're right.
Forge Brood, and then you could Surfer Grandmaster, you could Surfer Grandmaster Absorbing, you could do like Brood Absorbing, and then Surfer Grandmaster.
Yeah.
Like you could. I did Grandmaster on Nakia when Shaw was in my hand, and it just started getting nasty, and there was like a Kamartage in the middle or something, and we got like this 25 power Shaw just sitting there, and like so there is some really nasty stuff you can do, and he fits really good in that deck. Because you're playing Sarah Surfer, and he's a 2-drop, so you play Sarah, he's a 1, and you can do all kinds of nasty combos on the last turn, and you could jam a bunch of tech in that deck too. So it feels pretty good, but it's just obviously limited by the fact that it's a Surfer deck still, right?
Yeah. It also seems like it'd be limited on board space.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's a Brood Absorbing Man deck, right? You could throw Dazzler in there. Like I put Zabu because I put Shang-Chi and Absorbing Man, but you could also just put a Dazzler because, you're filling up your board anyway. It's a 2/8.
Yeah.
Like you need a second 2-drop anyway. So that's an interesting option in there with the new Dazzler. But yeah, I mean, it feels like solid to me, it doesn't feel like cracked or anything, but won a lot of games with that deck personally.
Yeah, that's great. I think you probably did send me the list. Maybe I'll play Surfer one of these days. I'm not really a Surfer guy, but yeah, I've seen even people on X, say that like they're having some success in Surfer. It seems to be where he finds a good home. I know some people were using him in Move, but Move is still, even though Dagger's cracked, Move still kind of sucks, unfortunately.
Move is another one that hurts my brain.
Yeah, it's fun though. I love it. It's if I want to lose cubes, I'll play Move, but then I'll 1 in 10 times pull off a combo, and I'm like, yes, like 10% win rate, but like I have that cracked combo one of the times, and I'm like, I feel like like I'm the man, and it's hilarious. This Grandmaster Dara was playing. I think he played it a little bit yesterday and today. I think he played it all day today at High Infinite.
Oh man,
top 30.
That does look pretty sick. I want to break Man Thing. Man Thing is such a good card. It's such a good on-rate card. So you put 2 cards in an enemy's location, and that's already a 4/9.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I think he went like 57, 58%.
Yeah.
He was positive like almost 100 cubes, something like that. He said his thoughts at the end were Grandmaster's an okay card.
Yeah.
Very niche, not horrible, but very niche in certain types of decks. But he's like, yeah, not great though. Obviously,
if Luke Cage would just be better there in that slot.
Grandmaster, yeah, who knows?
Yeah, then you just have Luke, yeah, and your debris don't get zapped.
Yeah,
your debris rocks.
Or I guess
you still play debris in the Man Thing. You're getting zapped, right? So,
yeah,
it's an interesting deck. I like that deck.
It is a cool deck. Yeah, I forget what he had it.
I was just gonna say, Cozy put one out today, and so I don't know if the ladder is gonna get taken over by this deck because that seems to happen when he posts a deck. I don't know if it's just Cozy Copium right now. Like he gave Grandmaster a 5-star rating, right? Like pre thing. So like he just said 5-star, 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 everything. You know, but before the card came out, you know. So
okay.
You know, in his defense, right? He's just speculating. We're all just speculating. I'm not holding that against him. I've been wrong about cards, obviously. But he's really trying to make it work. Like you could tell, like he's almost kind of sad in his video because, like, I kind of feel bad for him. He's like, guys, I've been up all night because there's the Twitch drops too, right? Yeah. So he plays till like 4 a.m. I've been up all night, guys, and I've played 20 Grandmaster decks, and like this is the best one. So like, he's playing Infliction. High Evo type of deck with Grandmaster. And so the junk stuff seems legit. Like, honestly, I think you're onto something, kid, with the debris. Like, debris Grandmaster is insane. You know, I don't know.
Debris, yeah, I like it. It's fun.
And like I said, like to his man thing point, Cozy was playing High Evo, The Thing, and Abomination in his deck, and no other High Evo cards. And I'm wondering, like, maybe you don't need to just play the brick High Evo in your deck. You just put a Man Thing and a Luke Cage in there instead, right? Like, do we need the hope of having a 2/9 or a 1/9 a bomb? Like, let's just put Man Thing, Luke Cage, and just like own everybody. Like the Man Thing would just crush in that deck. So yeah,
that's kind of interesting stuff. Yeah, I found this list today that I said it looks similar to Cozy's actually, but there's no Grandmaster. So
yeah, he said Grandmaster Scorpion is a snap. That's what he said. I'm not making that up. Yeah.
Come on. Really?
I mean, it seems legit. Like, don't get me wrong. It seems pretty good, but I'm like, oh man, are we in Cozy Copium now? Like, I don't know.
Yes, because do you if you get Scorpion on Camartage, do you like feel like you lost the game? No, you're just like a little bit pissed off for the 3 cards in your hand, but like
it's annoying. It's annoying for sure. It does, you know, the Scorpion hit twice is a pain in the ass for sure.
It is.
Yeah. I'm a Cerebro player though, so
Oh. But yeah, Gunny, what else you been playing? You've been grinding only the Big Dumb Idiots deck?
Yeah, I mean, so I've been spending a lot of time working on the video that I just released today. So I haven't had a whole lot of playtime. So whenever I do have playtime, so I keep trying to beat Lambie on the ladder. So if I get some free time at work, like during lunch or something, he's streaming, like I will play until I queue into Lambie, and I'm just
sniping. That's called stream sniping.
I wish if I was screen sniping, I wish that my win rate would be better than it is, because I think I've played him about 7 or 8 times now, and I beat him twice.
That's good. That's really good. Saying you beat Lambie twice is really good. It's more than most.
Let's 2 more times than I would win. I'd beat him. I'm pretty sure he'd probably snap on turn 2, and I would be like, all right, I'm out of here. Yeah. I'm out. Take it.
Other than that, I dabble into some of the Black Knight stuff. I like that deck. I mean, pretty much it's just Zabu. It's mid-range. I love mid-range. So, I mean, that's why I think Big Dumb Idiots is a mid-range deck. It's just stats, right? I might even call it aggro. Like it just wants to beat you with power. But the Revis, Sarah decks, like I like any of that stuff. Anything that's playing some stats on the board and then some answers for your opponent.
We're gonna have we're gonna have a fun discussion later on the most hated and most loved decks based on that comment.
Yeah, Revis. I think Revis just put out a video today that he had a Grandmaster Sarah. So I want to see his thoughts on that. Yeah. Honestly, it's probably better without Grandmaster, in my opinion. But that's my initial thoughts. But we'll see what he says. He's better than me. So, but yeah, I don't know. So meta. What do you think about the meta so far? I think the meta feels pretty good to me. It feels really good. It feels like there's a lot of different decks. Not one deck is so overbearing like Thanos Blob. Feels like you could play a lot of different things and be okay. Even like this card, Meek decks I've seen are doing pretty good right now.
Yeah, so. I agree. I don't think there's anything that's on the ladder right now that is too degenerate that's going to stop you from, at least making some wins on it, or that like everybody has to play. And on top of that too, so with the blob coming down a bit, I think it's given room for some of those feel bad decks to go away, right? Blob just kind of felt bad whenever they would pull a couple big things for free out of their lockjaw and then win another lane no matter what you did. So right now it just seems like there's a lot of decks that are doing different things, be it Cerebro, be it Surfer, but they're just putting stats on the board in a very interactive way. And it's kind of, it feels like your game play throughout the game really matters to the end result.
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting vibes of like, before Loki came out, like the Silky Smooth meta, which was probably like the best meta in a long time. The best since I've started playing this game. And I just feel like you could play almost anything. I've seen Patriot out there, yeah, like Surfer, like, and they're all decently good. Like, even Move feels like it's in the best spot it's ever been. Like, people are playing some Move decks, and like they're still not top tier decks, obviously, but like
I almost feel
they're positioned decently.
I almost feel like our S tier decks and then like our tier 2 decks, just the gap between them has closed. So so even if you're playing like a tier 2 deck, you just have a better win rate into some of these better decks, right? If you whatever the best deck is in the meta, if you're still playing something like with a reasonable curve and can put some power out, like you still have a chance.
Yeah, I know. I'm really, really, really loving the meta right now. No big deal. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I love it too. I agree with everything you guys are saying. It's funny because Thanos Blob still might be the best deck in the game. But I just don't care now. Like, it just doesn't feel like Gunny was saying where, hey, there's literally nothing you could do. Like, this lane's already locked down and Blob's is going to come down as a 47 and you're just done. So it's nice. You can actually fight against the Thanos Blob. Also, a lot of Thanos Blob players aren't playing him now because they want to play new stuff too now that their ace card just got nerfed like crazy, right? Yeah. So I know Cam Best was saying like the number 2 guy on the ladder like was playing Thanos Blob. He hasn't changed his list. He's still just grinding that same deck and similar win rate. He hasn't he's just staying rank 2, rank 1, rank 3. So he's just playing the same deck, but his Blob is just a 20 instead of a 42 now.
Did either of you end up playing much of the Thanos Blob deck?
I did when it came out. When the card came out, I played it for like 2 weeks, like nonstop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think.
Yeah, I played it.
I played it before the Lockjaw edition, and then once Lockjaw went into it, then that's what around the time where I came out with the Big Dumb Idiots deck, and I just kind of stopped playing. Not because I'm like a meta hipster or anything, but I ended up getting to a point where I was almost farming Thanos decks with my Big Dumb Idiots deck. I would obviously lose some of the matchups, but there's situations I could put them in that just made them not be able to win.
Yeah, no, it definitely it's very good into Thanos, that deck. I played a lot of the Thanos Blob before it kind of took over the entire meta. Every other match was a Thanos Blob. That's when I stopped playing because I'm like, it's just not. I hate mirror matches.
Yeah.
I
remember you saying
so
that. So
if it's if there's a deck that's like really popular, I'm just like, I'm done.
Yeah, and I'll play something else too. It's just like it's not a fun way to play where you don't know like. There's a good chance that your power is going to come out there, but it's also you not knowing, and you're just kind of gambling. It's kind of like Hela. Some people really like Hela.
Yeah. So to that point, like I really enjoyed it for all those reasons. I liked Hela, and I like that, and also I like that. Like I started with Lockjaw day 1 when the card came out. I went right to Lockjaw. We talked about it on this pod. I just think Lockjaw is fun. I just love the card, and I didn't know if it was good or not. I just made sense with Lockjaw, and I was doing like Okoye because I said, okay, well if she pops out of the Lockjaw, I don't hate that. Yeah. And Okoye, and then you could jam and people weren't playing Infinite when the card first came out, So I figured, hey, like you don't know, but I have Infinite in my deck, and like you don't, so my blob's gonna be bigger, and that just is what it is. I have Okoye and Infinite. So my blob's a 70 and yours is like 42, and I could laugh at you, So that's how I was playing it. And I had a lot of fun for like 2 or 3 weeks doing that for sure. But, I don't want to play the same deck for longer than 2-3 weeks personally. So, kind of moved on to it with everybody else.
Yeah. And then the Thanos blob list got to a point where it was like, you didn't have to think too much and they were just so good.
Yeah.
That you just like play stones, play Lockjaw, play stats, play blob. You win.
Yeah, they got super optimized.
And that was it. And it was just like, and then once you did mirror matches, is whoever got better Lockjaw RNG and draw RNG, and that was it. Yeah. There's no like thinking, there's no back and forth really. Some of the lists were pretty cool and innovative. I don't know if the top ladder guy, I think probably Torkin is who you're talking about. I don't know if he plays the She-Hulk Infinite version. No. But there was one She-Hulk Infinite version that was pretty cool that had Psylocke, where they played Psylocke on turn 5 or on turn 4 into the Lockjaw, and then She-Hulk Infinite on turn 6.
Yeah,
and just like surprise 30 power after you throw the Psylocke into the Lockjaw, and it really had, people didn't expect that out of the blob list at the time. It was like a hipster play.
Yeah, and Johnson's on a Loki version right now. I played against him yesterday, and that was really interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sad about the Annihilus nerf because Johnson put out a junk Loki Thanos deck. Fuck, I had so much fun playing that. He put it out the night before the Annihilus nerf. I saw him tweet it, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta play this because Annihilus is gonna be nerfed tomorrow. And I couldn't lose. I couldn't lose. It was so good. Because like you just clog their lanes, and then like you have a Loki backup plan, and it was amazing.
Him and his crew are really innovative. They're always coming up with like really interesting brews.
Yeah, Johnson seems to be the pioneer of Loki and Thanos, right? Like I didn't see anybody play it before he started posting about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's really good, yeah. And his even what's it called? Yeah, is he playing the Quake Thanos? He has like a Quake Thanos list too. I wonder if I still have it up here. If I deleted it, I go through so many decks.
Yeah, I mean, probably all Grandmaster decks now, you know.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Well, meta's great.
Well, hold on, kid. Let me give one spice. Let me give one spice to the people. You know, just one. You know, Grandmasters came out. Everybody's got their new brews. You know, I haven't seen this one out there yet. This is my best version of Grandmaster so far. It looks weird. All right, it is kind of weird, but it's just the one that won the most by far. I was just straight crushing everybody with this thing. So it's a Lockjaw deck. So we got the Wasp.
Okay.
You know, we got the Grandmaster because you know it's all about him. I was just thinking, like, you know, this Grandmaster card re-triggers on reveal effects. We got to play him with, like, Odin or Wong, right? Like, it's got to be an Odin or Wong card, but Wong just throwing him out there on 4 is just tough, right? So this is to try to circumvent that. So we got Lockjaw and Thor at the 3 cost. Oh, nice. Yeah, I just got that variant too, kid. So I finally have a variant for my Lockjaw. I'm very
I like this variant.
Yeah, he's sick. Go the purple. I'm rocking the purple background right now. And then Jubilee at 4, obviously, you know, playing the Lockjaw deck. And then so 5 costs, we got White Tiger, Jane Foster. White Tiger, obviously, Grandmaster target there.
Yes.
And then Jane 5/8.
Delicious.
And then so 6 drops. We got the Blob, Doctor Doom, Odin.
Oh God.
Yeah, small boys. Yeah, Doctor Doom, Odin, and then Magneto Infinite.
Nice.
And yeah, so like it's you know, you got your Mjolnir, you got White Tiger, Doctor Doom, all to proc with Odin, right? So Jubilee brings out Odin, she goes off again. You know, that's always nice. That's a classic. Nice thing too with Grandmaster is that he moves the card out of the Lockjaw lane, so then you could play another card into Lockjaw. So Grandmaster pops out, he kicks out your card. So that's like pretty sick as a thing I didn't even think about. It just started happening during the game. I was like, oh, that's kind of nice. You know, make a little room for a little Wasp action, you know? So that's always fun. A nice thing too is you could never play Blob in Lockjaw pre-patch because he just eats your whole deck and now you can't play the game anymore. But now he just eats up to 20, so you know, let me eat a Magneto Odin. We got a 20, and we get to keep playing the game. So, and he's just a 620 sitting there. So, yeah, and also I think he does reproc too with Thor. There's like weird interaction. I haven't run into that yet, but I think he just like doubles his power or something stupid like that. If you Odin on your Blob, I haven't done that yet. But
his effect goes off again.
Yeah, but doesn't he just not eat? Doesn't he? I think he just doubles power. I don't know. We have to get a scientist to figure this one out. Like,
he'll eat until he gets a 15 again.
Oh, okay.
Like
so
an additional 15.
So it gives another 15. That's hilarious. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, he eats again, so that's kind of hilarious. But yeah, so I don't know. This deck, it looks stupid. It looks like a pool 1 deck. You know, it's like some shit you play pool 2 when you're trying to figure out the game. You got White Tiger, Odin, all this stuff, but you outputs absolutely absurd power across the board. You get like 60 in a lane, you get 30 in another lane, and you know Magneto pulls to your 60 lane, and it just gets crazy.
Oh, this is great. All right, I'll try the no big deal spice. But you won some conquests in here too, right? Didn't you win? Yeah. Yeah,
this is a 3-0 in conquest, but I just did silver, gold. So you know, if I get the infinite ticket, I'll let you know. Well, next week we'll see what happens, but yeah, we'll see what we talk about next week. But yeah, so far I just made it today. And it's 3-0 in Conquest. That's pretty much it. You know, just a weird combo deck, but you know, we'll see. We'll see how the Lockjaw archetype evolves once we get good old Beat Ray Bill.
Beat Ray Bill. Hey you.
Beat Ray Bill.
That's it.
BRB.
BRB. All right, so we'll get into our next topic here, which is just we'll go through some of the cards, decks, and stuff about the economy and locations that we kind of like and kind of don't like, and we'll probably do about 2 each. Just so we can, we're not here for 40 hours, but we can start with. Let's start. What do you guys want to start with? Cards. We'll start with cards. Yeah, cards are fun. So
cards
2
fun,
cards that
right?
you like, and 2 cards that you hate. GunnyT, you want to start us off? Let's do it.
Yeah, I'll start us off. That sounds great. I would say my number 1 card that I like is probably just
Chad.
I can't choose anything
great.
else besides the Chad. It's so cool, right?
That's it.
Yes, I'll do. All right, and I'll just go ahead. I'll choose one that I dislike, and then we'll pass it along, and we'll come back around. And I would say a card that I dislike. Man, what do I really not like seeing across the board from me? Probably something like an Invisible Woman. Yeah. Because I know they're up to some shenanigans, but I have no idea what.
That's why you want to add Elias to your deck. You've seen a couple of them before.
Yeah.
It's true.
He gets it right out of there.
Some shenanigans. Like, what are you up to? Tell me your secrets.
The Chat Eater is great. And you know why the Chat Eater is great? I just want to talk about yours for a little bit. The Chat Eater is great because even when he misses, it's still hilarious and awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I never feel bad playing him because even when he really screws me over, he swears and then I just laugh and I'm like, Chat Eater. It's great.
It also just kind of feels fair as the player whenever he misses.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we can't just have just a vanilla 3/8, right? We can't just have that, Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the Chat Eater. Talk a lot about Chat Eater on here. Kid, why don't you go ahead? I didn't write down cards. Yeah.
All right. So card I really like. One of my favorite cards in the game, Annihilus. It's a great card. It's so much fun. Such a unique effect. I'm so mad they nerfed him. I loved sending rocks over. One of my favorite plays before was not letting collapsed mines get killed and just sending all the rocks over. But even still, you can still throw hazmat in. You can send over negative stuff. It's just a lot of fun sending a bunch of crap over to your opponent's board. And then also, if they're playing an Annihilus list, it's fun having the mind games of who's going to play the Annihilus first and fighting for priority. I like that. It's kind of cool. Those are the only mirror matches I don't mind, actually. Is when you actually have to have mind games at the end of the game and when you're going to play the Annihilus, and it's like a game of chicken. It's awesome. So that's one of my favorite cards right now. And then one that I hate, probably the card that I hate the most, honestly. I don't know if this is going to surprise you, but Iceman. I fucking hate that card so much. Every time. Oh my god, I hate that.
What a great pick.
That's the number one card I hate the most. He fucks up everything. There's very rarely does he hit something and I'm like, okay, that's not that bad. Every time it's the next fucking thing I want to play on the board. I'm like, God damn it. I'm like, no. So Iceman's my most hated card, I think by a mile in this game. Because I don't really get mad about many cards. No cards don't piss me off too much, but Iceman does.
Yeah, that's fair. Iceman, it always hits. He always hits the whatever you're curving into. He plays it on one. You have one turn 2 play in your hand. It's hitting that every time. Yeah,
and then also too, I try and think a few turns ahead, and then so I'm like, damn it, my turn 4 play is screwed now. I'm like, what am I gonna do?
I tried to jam Iceman in decks just for that reason. I'm like, it feels terrible when they play it against you, so you may as well just play it, right?
It's true.
For me, I didn't write anything down for this, but cards I love. I mean, Lockjaw's on the screen. He is one of my top cards all time in the game, and I'll try to keep it to stuff I'm currently playing, I guess, for the card stuff for now. Just currently in the meta, and I love where Lockjaw's at. I love the change they made. You can't play 3 cards into them and just go absolutely crazy. I thought that was a nice kind of nerf onto Lockjaw. And I just think he's in a really good place. You're building your deck to rig the RNG in your favor. So I don't think it's too casino. There's a lot of casino when you're playing a Hella deck, for example, because it's not just I might hit my Hella, but it's also you don't know where the cards are going. Are you even going to be able to successfully play your hell up? There's all kinds of stuff that could go wrong. But Lockjaw is like seems pretty chill and reliable enough, and you could always just retreat if it doesn't go well. So I love Lockjaw. Always have one of my first Series 3 cards that I got, and then cards that I hate. My number one hated card in the game by about 1 million is Kang. I don't think Kang should exist in this game. I absolutely hate everything he represents. I hate him with every fiber of my being. There's no second card that I hate even close to as much as I hate Kang. It's like a distant second. I'll have to come up with one.
Yeah, I think they could fix that by just restarting the game. I said, fix it by just restarting the game.
Like, get him out of here, man. I just. Marvel Snap. There's, GunnyT. You say you play a lot of card games, right? I've played a few games too. I don't think as much as you, but one of the things that's really appealing to me in Marvel Snap is how fast paced it is, and the 3 lanes and the snap equity theory. And Kang takes all that and just shits on it, throws it out the window. No, now the game takes long, and the snaps don't matter. And the game's called Marvel Snap, and the snaps don't matter with Kang. And so I don't even think he's a good card. He's probably pretty bad, but I don't care. I just don't want him in the game, so I hate him. Yeah.
Oddly enough, he has a pretty high cube rate because you can snap into your
Yeah, I hate it.
Kang and will just retreat.
That's a good pick.
Yeah.
You got another GunnyT?
Yeah.
Let's do
it. All right, back over to me, right, for our next one. All right, so I think another favorite card I have is Shang-Chi. So I really enjoy Shang-Chi just because it keeps a lot of the game balanced in a way that I really don't think any other card does. There's huge threats out there, and you always and it's from early pools, right? You always have to respect that Shang-Chi, and it's such a cool card that it can universally do that. Like, I don't think I've ever been Shang-Chi and be like, oh my god, this is the worst. How were they playing that? I mean, you're just kind of like,
yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And on
I was
the
gonna say,
side,
you're absolutely right. You nailed it. Like, you got to respect that card. A lot of people that's like one of their most hated cards. But I think he's like a necessary evil for the game. Not even evil, but like he's necessary for the game. He keeps the big cards in check, and yeah, I think that's a great pick. I love it.
Yeah, and it gives you the extra back and forth gameplay. Without cards like Shang-Chi, there would be no back and forth gameplay. And then my opposite of that on your screen as well here is Super Scroll. I hate Super Scroll. Anytime I'm playing an ongoing deck, I feel like they're cheating playing Super Scroll. Like, what the heck? Come on. Nobody plays Super Scroll. It's an awfully great card right now. I mean, I love seeing Super Scroll against my big dumb idiots.
Yeah, exactly. And it's an extra
2.
Yeah, an extra Cosmo lane. And armor too. For That's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. But yeah, like whenever I would try some of the Tribunal decks or anything like that, and then somebody plays a Super Scroll, and I'm just like, why?
Yeah, or you're like playing.
Why are you doing this to me? It just
or you're just like playing like a random deck with Iron Man, and then random Super Scroll appears in your opponents. You're like, what the hell are you doing playing this card? So yeah, that's kind of true. I don't like Super Scroll either. So another. So Lockjaw was actually on my list as like one of the cards I love too. But since you talked about it, no big deal. I'll talk about another card I like, and that's the G-Man. All right,
the Gladiator.
No, Galactus. The Gladiator's great. Gladiator. But Galactus is a hilarious card. Man, did that card have a fall from grace? It was great. I like them. I know he was really like horrible and toxic for the game before, but just having the screen blow up more was just having it such an easy time to blow up the screen was hilarious. I love the animation. It's so funny. He's not like great now. I think he's in a pretty good place where he's like fair. And if someone plays Galactus against you, I feel like people aren't really that mad anymore. They're like, all right, you got me with Galactus. But every time I can weasel out a Galactus win, like I just laugh like a little schoolgirl. And it's just amazing. So yeah, that's a card I like. Just turn 6 Galactus.
I think the funny part is about Galactus, and I guess this will kind of go into our next topic, talking about bad decks, or decks that we hate. But whenever you get Galactus, you really remember it. You're like, that was awful. But you being a Galactus player, so I actually had Galactus pinned not too long ago. I was going to get it. I decided not to after watching some gameplay with it. As a Galactus player, how many times is your Galactus shut off and you're like, really? Like, this sucks. I don't have anywhere to play.
So
my
like
Galactus
how many how
to.
often can I not play it, or is it like not the optimal play? All the time.
Yeah. or just like doesn't do right. So no. I don't think people really realize how often they're beating Galactus players, but they just remember when they get Galactus, like, oh, this is the worst thing ever. Like, all right, dude, but you're like 3
Yeah,
wins
it's not
Galactus
great at all. I only play it just for the lols, and like I made some decks, be like, oh, I like the deck. Is there any like sub for anything? Is there anything to make it better? I'm like, yeah, take Galactus out. It's probably a better deck. Yeah,
take Galactus out. You said that.
Realist, Oh yeah, you asked me that too. There's been a few times where people have asked like about Galactus decks. I'm like, yeah, without Galactus, it's probably just a better deck, honestly. But just when it goes off, it's just hilarious. I just laugh every time. So it's funny
for the memes. Yeah, I gotta do it for the memes.
And then another card, honestly, I don't. Other than Iceman, there's not really too many cards that I hate. If I had to pick one that's kind of obvious, but it doesn't really make me mad, but I just don't like, is Leech. Just like a Leech, like if it's Leech in a Leech meta, I don't mind it because I'm like, I'm thinking about it in my head. If there's just a random Leech somewhere and I'm like playing this big combo turn, I get so tilted and I'm like, shit.
Oh man. I was watching Dara stream the other day. He had 2 leaders played against him in like
that's great.
An hour.
I haven't heard that name in years.
I know. Yeah, so like, but like honestly, it doesn't bother me that much. If I had to pick one, I mean, sure that's a common one, but it's like the random Leech. But yeah, not getting cards played against me doesn't really bother me too much. Just Iceman, I hate that card.
Okay, so I'll go. I just went to my sorting here. I said sort by upgradable, and the second most boosters I have in the game is for the Infinite. And I feel like we don't talk about the Infinite. We haven't talked about the Infinite on this pod yet. Like just as a card by himself. He's always in the decks, but I realize like I play the shit out of this card. Like I play Hela, Lockjaw, Black Knight. He's great in there, and played some She-Not, and. Infinite, and also to your point, kid, if you get leeched, like wheels up, baby. I'm snapping. I see a leech, I have Infinite, I'm snapping. Like that's auto snap. They're gonna be like, why is he snapping? Well, first you wait for them to snap first, right? Because they're the leech player. Usually people play leech on 5 snap, right? So then Infinite's a great snap back, easy 8 cubes, and I think he's just a really interesting card. Just kind of been abusing him since like pool 2, and just a really cool card. There's plenty of ways to cheat him out. Sometimes you actually just skip and play him anyway. Very rarely, but with a sunspot or whatever. But just a big boy that now that Blob has been nerfed, is back in all his glory, and his 20 power actually matters now. So pre-Blob nerf, maybe not so much. I wasn't playing any Hela pre-Blob nerf because you just lose to Blob anyway. So Infinite, awesome card, and I think a little bit underappreciated. Do you guys like Infinite or no?
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's fun, man.
Yeah, I love the Infinite. I think the Infinite's a great card. It's such a fair card. Like here's this card that is either you have to build around a way to cheat them out, or you have to meet this this very restricting gameplay style.
Yeah, it's a good card. I like it, especially in Lockjaw. It's always fun seeing him pop out in Lockjaw, and more recently Black Knight decks. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's great. It feels so good when you have a Black Knight and you can you have a blade in your hand, and then your next pull's Infinite. You're like, there it is.
You're nuts.
Snap, baby.
Yeah, the Infinite's crazy. The 20 Ebony Blade is insane. And then for hated card, I was thinking about saying Sandman. I don't hate him that much, honestly. He's not like that good right now, so I can't say Sandman. So I'm gonna get a little bit spicy with this one. I don't actually hate this card per se, not even close to as much as I hate Kang. All right, but I'm just Darkhawk, man. Does he not just power creep every other 4-drop in the game? This card has just been disgusting.
Yeah, what do you print after Darkhawk?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
After Darkhawk,
maybe we just move him to -2. I don't know. I don't know what we do. Move him up in power, put +1. I don't love this Darkhawk card. my dog Carlos also doesn't like Darkhawk. I don't know if you can hear him barking, but
yeah, he's barking.
Yeah, he doesn't like Darkhawk either. I play Darkhawk sometimes. I think the Grandmaster stuff's kind of interesting because turning your opponent into Subterranea is like kind of hilarious with the double rock slide. I think that's kind of funny, but yeah, I don't know about this Darkhawk card. I compare him to every other 4-drop, and then it's just like don't you just want to draw the Darkhawk, and then it's just did you draw the Darkhawk? Did you not draw the Darkhawk? And that decides whether you win, and that's not interesting gameplay to me at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I like Darkhawk. I love him. I'm the opposite of you. I think he's great. He's a fun card to play because I like broken stuff, and he's like a broken card, not broken card, but he's like, yeah, he's really good. You can get him up to like a 417 or 418, 414 with all the rocks and stuff. So it's good. I really like him, and even in lists with like Ravona, you can Darkhawk Mystique. I love doing that. I love Darkhawk. I think he's a great card, but I see why you don't like him for the power creep. Yeah, he was a 4-2 at one point.
It's not like I get tilted when somebody plays a Darkhawk either. It's just I guess it's just getting stale for me at this point. I'm getting a little stale on the Darkhawk stuff. Yeah.
I mean, if blob play goes up, it'll be it'll be less. But Darkhawk's starting to creep back into the meta now with the fall.
He's always lingering. He's always lingering.
Yeah, and there's never like.
Yeah. It's just that package, right? It's that package that you're easy to sculpt around. All you're really looking for is probably Darkhawk with Rock Slide, Korg, and Black Widow, and I guess Azabu. What flavor?
Yeah, I think even too like if you want to talk about hated cards, like let's talk about the Rock. Like because like not just Darkhawks that you really hate. It's like I think you're right. It's the package. If we want to. Easy transition into decks that you hate to play against. It's Darkhawk when they're having Korgs and Rock Slides and you're drawing like one of the things I hate the most is when I get a Korg played against me and the next card I draw is a Rock and it's like turn 2 and I'm like, what the hell, man? Come on. Like it's the whole package.
Do you ever play the Rock?
For Dwayne the Rock Johnson. No, I do like at the no. If I'm floating mana, I will. Especially if like at the end of the game, if it's like an extra thing, just for like in case some hipster's playing Arrow or something like that, or if it's like Nidavellir or like start.
Sure. I can see that. I mean, I guess if there's a reason, I just never play the Rock I just see people playing the Rock for no reason. I'm like, thanks for letting me know that I stumped you.
I let them know. And I do just because
depends, like sometimes you need it like for Miss Marvel or something, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I also like doing stuff. I don't like skipping turns. So like if I can play the Rock, I just play it. I don't care.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and a lot of it's my fault too because I'm a greasy combo player, so like it's my own fault. Like if you mess up one of my draws, like I already might not get the combo off as is, So yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we're moving on to our least favorite deck, our favorite and least favorite decks, right? So I think I'm just going to choose archetype here because I could, that'd be really hard, I think, to pinpoint just a single deck. I mean, obviously, it'd probably be Jim Tam Snap for me, but I think mid-range is where I fall. Really like those decks that are just trying to put some power out there, be interactive with my opponent, and kind of see who can outthink the other person. Where did you think I was going to put it? Kind of like the mind game stuff we were talking about earlier, but really just those mid-range matchups where like intricacies and small moves matter. That'd be my favorite. And my least favorite is combo. I just can't get combos to work. I don't know what it is about it, but they never work I mean, obviously they work at some point in time. Maybe it's just it could just be a feel bad thing. Like whenever they don't work, I just feel bad. So, and I feel like I had no control over how I felt during that game. So yeah, combo it's not something I play.
No big deal. You want to go?
Sure. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, so mine is like kind of just reverse the version of that.
Yeah, that's why I wanted you to go.
But it's kind of funny. It's the different play styles. So yeah, I put decks to hate. My most hated decks ever by far are not currently in the meta. I think the meta is like really fun and awesome right now. There's no decks I hate currently in the meta. But like previous Shuri Red Skull, I absolutely hate that deck. I almost quit the game because of that deck. Luckily, kid asked me to do a podcast, so I didn't end up quitting. But I probably would have if we stayed with that meta another month.
Me too.
That was the first thing I got
that deck was horrendous. And then honestly, pre nerf Galactus was just absolutely. I hated playing against that deck. Just when you didn't need any of the restrictions, like he just went off simply by being the only card in the lane. And then you play Spider-Man, lock their lane down, and then you play Death, Shang-Chi, whatever.
Null.
Null, Death.
The good old days.
The good old days. Yondu on one, and it's just like, why are you just wait? It's the same with Kang. It's just like you're wasting my time. Like I see that Yondu, I look down. I don't have Polaris. I don't have Polaris or Debris in my hand, and I retreat. Or I have Debris in my hand and I win. And that's just coin flip bullshit to me. So old Galactus, old Shuri, I hate those decks absolutely. But current meta, mid range stuff. I find it just a little bit boring personally. I put Sarah Control and Darkhawk as decks I don't like too much in current meta. And then decks I like right now, I kind of like just like discard in general and like lockjaw stuff right now. I think it's really fun.
Yeah, those are good. Those are good picks. Yeah, of course you're a discard guy. I'll say decks I like right now. Right now, in the last couple of weeks, I've been really on a junk tear. Just clogging up people's lanes. I've been just really, I think it's hilarious to do.
Junk's fun, man. Junk's a fun deck. I like Junk.
It is fun. It's not good, but it's fun. It's been getting hit. If I get like if I have like a comfort deck, like overall over the last year that I've been playing, I would say like something I always go back to is just some sort of Thanos list. Usually, when Thanos isn't broken, that's probably that, or like even like a mid range, is like comfort deck, like a Darkhawk deck is like a nice deck to go to, and I just want to just kind of chill. But I do love the high roll. I do love lockjaw decks. I like playing a lot of everything, but recently junk. Deck I hate the most, Cerebro. Fuck that card. I can't stand Cerebro decks. I hate them all. I never want to play them. Every couple months I give it a try. I never draw Cerebro, and I put it away I shelve it for a few months, and I'm like, we're done. And no big deal will send me text messages of like, oh, look at this Cerebro. I'm like, yep, good for you. I don't give a shit. I'm never playing that. Don't even send me the deck list. And then discard, I'm not like, I don't really hate discard. It doesn't bother me. Like Cerebro bothers me. Discard, I just, it's not like a big deck that I enjoy too much. But in the next coming months with some of the data mines, it's looking like a deck that can get pretty spicy. And I'm pretty excited actually for where it can go. But yeah. What about locations? Let's talk about locations that we hate and love.
I think so. Are we going to try to do all the topics that we had?
Yeah, let's do one of each.
You want to just do one of each?
Yeah, let's do one of each.
Like and dislike. All right. My least favorite location. Which is the location that fills your deck with 10 random cards?
District X.
Yeah, that one sucks.
Yeah.
Is that it? So why does that exist? Like I made a deck. I came to this game to play for the game to be like,
no, I agree. That's up there for me. I hate that one.
Like I have no. This game is about snapping, so I'm betting. So what am I betting on? Like I have no idea what the outcome of this game is going to be. That's definitely the one I hate the most. And then like the most.
Well, I was gonna say let's all do the dislikes first because I don't even know. There's a lot of ones I like, but I'll piggyback off yours. One of my most disliked ones is Weird World, where you draw from your opponent's deck. I actually hate that more than District X. At least District X, I'm like, all right, we can both get garbage. We're both getting complete random stuff. But it's like when I go and I play and I'm like, I just want to play my deck. I don't want to play your deck. I don't want to play your stupid ladder deck that you're playing. I want to play mine. For some reason, my mind can wrap my head around, all right, we both got bullshit in our deck, whatever. But then it's like, I don't want your bullshit. Because like if I'm playing Darkhawk and I'm throwing rocks, then I'm just screwing myself because I'm drawing rocks. So it's like, it's even worse. I hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with both of those 100%. Absolutely hate both of those locations. I wish they weren't in the game. I agree 1,000%. I haven't looked at the chart, where they show how rare each one is. And at the top, it's like World Ship and Ego are like one in every 500 games or whatever, where they so rarely come up. And then there's like the next tier. I feel like District X and Weird World are on the next tier. I feel like they're relatively rare, but I agree with you guys. It's still a waste of time when those come out. It's like, all right, well, this is ridiculous. Like, please don't snap. I'm leaving if you snap. Like, I'm not playing this game if you snap. Like, but I'll play it out till the end, play out the string, and we can waste our time on a stupid District X game, right? But I think decks the ones that come up a little more often, or maybe they are just as rare as those, and I'm just more tilted by them. Subterranea is my least favorite for the exact same reasons you guys are talking about. 5 rocks in your deck. Now I can't play my deck. You just put 5 rocks in my deck. Yeah. And I hate my life right now. So, Gunny, I can't.
4 of the 5 rocks in a row.
Yeah. Me too. I've never done all 5, but I've also had 4 in a row a couple times.
I've had 4 in a row a few times, and I've texted them to you, and I'm like, look at this fucking shit. And I'm like, I'm done for the day. I can't, I
just kept going. I was like, there's no way I could draw
it's just absolutely insane. I hate it. That comes up, and now I can't play Marvel Snap, and I hate it. And the other one, that's just recently been tilting me. I don't know, man. It's starting to piss me off. And I'm not a Loki player. I don't play Loki, but Attilian, that one where it's like, put your deck into or put all your cards in the deck and draw 3. Yeah. It's just really starting to piss me off lately. I don't know why.
Yeah,
because it sucks. It's a terrible location. I hate that one too. It's bad. Mm-hmm. But Subterranean is horrible. I hate it. I think someone I saw on Twitter one time they drew all 5 rocks, and then they're like, "What's the math behind this?" And I think like Lauren Whatevs did the math, and it was like, I forget what it was, but something like astronomical to like draw all 5 in a row. Obviously, the guy like has screenshots like, I fucking drew all 5 in a row. It's like horrible. You gotta awesome. Respect at that point. So locations that we like. I mean, there's a lot of them that I like. I'm trying to think like any of the ones where like that draw you cards like Nova Roma and stuff. I kind of just love that. Just getting an extra card. Even if my opponent gets an extra card, I don't care. It's just like it's fun having options because you're playing the deck that you're doing what you want to do. It's just like you're playing the deck that you came and you're getting all the cards.
That's true.
Of the deck that you brought to the table that you want to play, and you have all the options ahead of you, and you're like, this is great. I love it.
Yeah, like Abbey Road or whatever is kind of like that. Put the 2 first to put 2 there. It's kind of a race, and then you draw 2. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, those are any ones where you're drawing cards, and then probably my most favorite location is the ruins.
What a meme.
Just play my deck and that's it. Fuck off.
Yeah. I think some of my favorite locations, and this is kind of probably a hot take here, are the ones that that just end up doing funky stuff is it Rickety Bridge that if there's more than 2 creatures or more than 2 here, it dies. Like there's this mini game that gets played over several locations. It's like, can you psych out your opponent? Like, do I move the Jeff over there? I don't know. And I kind of love those little mini games. Like, and then especially whenever it goes off for you in your favor, you're like,
it's amazing. Especially if you're a Galactus player with Wolverine, it's great.
Yeah, to Gunny's point, I wouldn't go as far to say ruins, because I do like that there's locations.
I was kidding.
Yeah, I know it's a joke. Yeah, but to a point, like, sometimes you wish that it was just the ruins, right? Like sometimes it would be nicer if it was just the ruins. But I like that there are locations in the game that you do have to play around. Like, I don't love Space Throne, but it is kind of fun when it's like, all right, it's a Space Throne game, like we got to figure, like, you only put 1 card there, but also maybe Jeff, and it's just like some weird shit you can do. And
that's it.
I like that part of the game. I think it makes the game unique. I can't really think of one that's like my favorite though. I think it's just nice that there's different ones. Like, I like how some games a Camartage game, but then some games is like nowhere. So either on reveal effects go twice or they don't go at all. Sometimes ongoing effects double. Sometimes ongoing effects don't work. Sometimes you can't play here. I actually don't mind that. I think it's like kind of interesting sometimes. Like, so, some decks are going to be more favored, and you have to read and retreat.
And I tell you what, like playing Quake in a deck. Whenever you play Quake in a deck, it makes locations just a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
Because you have a way to just manipulate it a little bit. You can kind of play with the so for instance, Rickety Bridge or something like that, flipping it off of location and then throwing some power there is a pretty sweet thing to do.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too.
It'd be pretty fun. And then I gotta ask,
how
do you play?
100% Snap. I don't even care.
Snap. Yeah, we're filthy casuals. We snap on Ego all day.
I snap and if I lose, I give them the 8 cubes. I fist bump them and I end my turn and that's it. Even if there's like yeah, I love Ego's hilarious.
I love Ego.
Yeah.
Like, do you not get happy when Ego comes up? Like, it sucks sometimes. You're like, wow, I just lost these cubes, but you're kind of happy.
Yeah, no, I don't care. I never hate it. I love it every single time. I guess you get excited when Ego comes up. I just like really want to. If there's like a competitive scene that ever,
I get excited. Yeah.
Like I actually like want to like I don't know. I want there to be a good competitive scene, and I want there to be a game where there's like things are on the line.
Yeah,
and, like both players snap on Ego and they just let it ride. I mean, like that would never happen, but it'd be hilarious.
No, but it'd just be like they're on the last 2 power, and it's in like the high stakes round, right? Yeah. And they each have 2 cubes left, right? And then just Ego comes up. You're like, well,
yeah,
round 8, Ego, let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, Ego's awesome. But yeah, the locations they are what's great about the game. The ones where you can't play your deck. Yeah, I hate those so much. Yeah.
I agree. It's the 4 that we named. Like, yeah, it would be nice if they have been taking those out of the game a little bit or making them more rare. It would be nice to do more of that. Like, just keep the ones that are in that aren't like so obnoxious that you can't play the game. But like stuff like Rickety Bridge, it's a pretty extreme location. But I like the GunnyT point. I like Rickety Bridge too.
I like it. Yeah, that's a good location. It's fun.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. All right, that's a good topic. I like that. You guys want to talk about the economy a little bit, GunnyT? You wanted to get into that a little bit. Sure. Stuff we like about the game economy.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to go what I liked and what I disliked. So, like one thing I really like about the economy, and I imagine you both would agree here, is I like the season pass. I think it's great value. Everyone always talks about getting the season pass. I have always considered this game to be a $10 or $10 a month game. And I think it's, a good thing. I enjoy going and opening up a little chest for each one of my levels during the season pass. So I think that's my favorite thing about the economy is the season pass.
Yeah. Go ahead. No big deal.
Yeah, I agree too. And, just to kind of add to your point, I put just price of this game in general. I mean, I've played Yu-Gi-Oh! Eternal card game. I played some Hearthstone. And even though I wish that, we could choose the cards that we get, we don't have to get into the hate part of the game. But I do feel like it's a pretty reasonable price, this game. Like, for example, in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now, there's a bunch of these things called fire decks coming out this year. And you have 55 cards between main and extra deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! And to get 7 of the cards, which is just the engine before you even build your deck, it's like $700 just to get 7 or 8 cards. $700, $800. You haven't even built your deck yet. The deck's probably going to cost you like $1,500 to build a deck. That's going to get hit by a ban list in 3 months, and then you got to pay another $1,500 for another deck. So these are other games I've even played on. If you want to compare online to online, just Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. It's really expensive to get the ultra rare cards. Now you can pick which ones you want, which is great, and that's similar to if anybody's played Hearthstone. It's tough to acquire the legendaries, but at least you get to pick which ones you want. But they're really expensive, and that's kind of why I end up stopping playing Hearthstone. I played for about 1.5 years when it first came out. I'm like, man, like I can't keep up. Like I'm gonna have to spend like maybe $100 a month to keep up with this stuff. Like all these new legendaries keep coming out, and I just found myself not being able to keep up with it. I think you could reasonably spend $250 to $350 a year in Marvel Snap, obviously including the season pass and buying the occasional bundle, and be pretty much collection complete. I know just because that's what I did last year. And only card I don't have is Kang. So yeah. Yeah.
Seems pretty reasonable.
I think the price of the game is like compared to every other card game I've seen is very reasonable. Only one I think is cheaper is Pokemon from what I've seen. Yeah, go ahead, kid.
Yeah, that I don't know. And I think one of the only cheaper, the online ones that people are toting, and I don't know much about it because I've never played, is Legends of Runeterra. But even there, like I think Riot just put out a statement that they're not scrapping Legends of Runeterra, but they've had a bunch of layoffs and they're but they're dialing back the PvP and focusing more on PvE because the economy, they can't support it because no one pays for anything. So it's like making money on it. They're like hemorrhaging money. So, you know, I think the economy is all right in this, especially like, I know we talked about this a little bit. You know, if you're near collection complete, it's great. Then you could basically, you're on cruise control with $10 a month with the occasional bundle. Like you said, if you optimize your spotlight caches and you don't casino roll for everything, you obviously can spend more for cosmetics. I do. It's fun. But you know, I don't feel like forced to. But yeah, like even because I used to play Hearthstone too, right when it came out. GunnyT, you did as well. Yeah, that was way more expensive than this.
Oh yeah,
this you could spend $10 a month and go ahead.
I ended up just playing the Battlegrounds, Hearthstone Battlegrounds, because it was so much cheaper. I'd pay my $20 every like 3 months or so.
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah,
I think I stopped playing before Battlegrounds came out.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah.
The reason why I stopped playing Hearthstone wasn't because of money. It was because of time. I couldn't spend 30 to 40 minutes every fucking game to lose to like an aggro hunter, and you're like,
that's true. They were long.
You know, or like a control warlock. You're like, all right, here's an hour block out of my day to get a loss, and you're like, oh, okay, fine. Control warrior.
To both your points of, you know, all the stuff you get from the season pass. You know, it is fun opening those first 50 things because, you know, there's all kinds of cool shit you get in there. And to also to your point, Kid, of, you know, Legends of Runeterra kind of having to shut down. I think we get a lot for our $10 a month just in the way of devs. They have 2 OTA changes every single month and a patch every single month and 5 cards coming out every single month. And so we get constant support from the devs. And I mean, you know, you basically just got to pay $10 a month to get that, right? So I think you get a lot of value for just like $10 a month USD subscription, basically. So it feels like the price of this game is like super reasonable.
So you kind of made me think of something here, and it has to do with you know, being collection complete. It's kind of a whack thought. Like, what other game do you actually own every single thing in the game? And in this game, it's kind of important because of how quickly the meta cycles. You know, I think you probably change decks way more often. You said something about, you know, your Yu-Gi-Oh deck that it's going to get nerfed in 3 months, but you're going to play that deck for 3 months.
True.
That's not going to happen in Marvel Snap. You know, your deck's going to have to change pretty frequently. But I think, unfortunately, with how that cycle goes, it feels really bad to have your card nerfed, and it doesn't really feel that great to have it buffed, right? If you're a really big enjoyer of, you know, not Alioth, but Annihilus, and you get that nerf on there, it feels really bad. But did it feel good to have, you know, Dazzler buffed? Like, I don't know. I didn't really feel too great about that.
No, I think it does personally, but that's the minority's opinion. I think it feels really good when the shitty cards get buffed.
Well, no, I don't want to get it wrong. Like it really is a great thing, but I think like that internal feeling of like, oh, I had this card I couldn't play before, but now it's playable. I think that feels less good than it feels bad to have your favorite thing taken away from you.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Gladiator buff, I fucking loved that. But I see. But your point is valid though. It's like it feels worse to have your favorite card nerfed than to have a card you never played buffed. Not that you don't feel good about the card being buffed because it's still great, but
you know,
we're getting buffs all the time and makes cards playable, which is sweet. I'm glad that, you know, more cards of mine could become playable. So I think if players could really see it in that light a little bit more often.
I agree. I think you're looking at it the right way. And I think what you outlined is how most of the community feels, right? Where a card they like gets nerfed and they all feel like shit. And then it's like riot in the streets, right? And for me, I feel really good when the broken cards get nerfed. Even if I'm playing it, I don't care. Because then now I can play it and like not feel like a piece of shit, basically. You know what I mean? Because you know when the stuff you're playing is like broken, right? Like, you know, you know when you're playing the bullshit in the game and you're getting away with it. Like when I was playing Professor X Spider-Man, like I wasn't mad when they took away, like, you know, a kid, you were pissed about Spider-Man. But that was just you like the lore of the Spider-Man character, right? But you know, I'm locking down 2 lanes and you can't play the game. Like, you know, that's okay that they changed that. You know, that's all I was playing at the time, though, you know. So yeah, I like it when the the broken cards get nerfed, and I think when the like card like Quake is a great example. Like nobody was playing Quake, and now it's an extremely interesting card. So I think that feels fantastic.
I like
yeah.
I guess I like what was I gonna say? When I like when they make good changes. Like if no big deal stuff. If the card's clearly busted and they nerf it, I'm happy with that. You know, if they make dumb changes like Viper and Soulstone, then it's like, and then I get pissed off. You know, when it makes stupid, no sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I think for me, the worst part of the economy is not so much that stuff. It's more that players don't have agency in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Pool 3.
Yeah, it makes it really difficult. You guys
January of last
really
year,
early, right?
End of January,
I started December. Yeah,
like Zabu season.
Yeah, so I started playing about 5 months ago. This is still really relevant in my mind and really recent in my mind. There was a point in time that, and I've talked to several players who have asked me, since I've been giving tips out, they've just been asking me questions about how they feel. And there's this really bad point whenever you get into halfway through Series 3 where you can make almost every deck except for you need to find 2 or 3 replacements. And I think it would be really fun if there was just a way to hone in and focus for once. Like, hey, maybe the algorithms, they already have it, right? There's a button you can click that'll make you a good deck. So maybe the algorithms just help you a little bit. Like they see that you have been playing a lot of Wong, and it's like, oh, well, here's a Black Panther. Just to help, again, I got pretty lucky. I got a Shuri, a pretty good Shuri deck early on. I was only missing Typhoid Mary. That was the one replacement I had to find. But I was able to climb with that for a long time. But if you were missing key pieces of several different decks, you're just
if you're missing Sarah, stuff like that, it's horrible.
And you're playing against complete decks. You're playing against people who have the cards, right? So it's not fair, and it feels horrible.
Yeah.
Well, they should I think they should just let people pick their Series 3 cards for 1,000 tokens. Yeah. That's it. Just here's 1,000 tokens. Pick whatever you want. And period. That's it. You know? And then why not?
Or I mean, you could even make it a paid for service. That's fine. Like if you want to, I think, was it Hearthstone? I think Hearthstone at one point in time, they would sell entire meta decks. And maybe there's, a lower meta deck, something like a Shuri deck. I know you said you hate Shuri, but it has a lot of Series 3 cards in it. Maybe sometime towards the beginning, I could say, hey, would you like to finish this deck for X amount? You can only do that once. Maybe that's a one-time thing that each Series 3 player gets to do, just to get them rolling, get them something they can climb with and make it through Series 3.
Yeah, I think because Series 3 is going to be a big problem, especially when they start dropping more and stuff like that. It already is a big problem, and I feel bad because it's so much of a grind. And when we had it back then, we had it a little bit easy because we could just they let us pick in the shop, right?
There was
cycled every 8 hours.
Yeah, every 8 hours you could pick one for 1,000 tokens. Yeah.
So you just wait until the one you wanted and you just pick it, and it was good. And you could just cycle through, and it's great. So you're getting the cards, and then you could pick the one you want. But it'd be great, not just if you could just straight up say, I want to buy Sarah. Let me just buy Sarah, and you get the filler bullshit whenever you get the filler bullshit. But yeah, it's just that's the one thing I don't like is it takes way too long. It's just a grind, and then you don't have complete decks. If that's the thing that probably feels the worst in this game is you want to play these decks, and you're one card off, and it's a key card, and you're like, why can't I just fucking buy this, man? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, we talked about it being a concept to be collection complete. It's also a whack concept for them to be play with unique.
It's a dumb thing. It's the dumbest thing.
Whoever so whose collection complete gonna beat me. I don't want to play with a unique collection. I want to play with that deck that the streamer is playing with. There's the people on the internet that are promoting your game. I want to play with the deck they're doing that with.
Yeah, and everybody has a different play style too. The game starts giving you destroy cards. You don't want to play destroy, right? You want to play some slower control type of deck, but it just refuses to give you Dr. Doom, and you're just never gonna get it. Or you got no Arrow, no Doom, nothing, and or no Magneto. and you just like need these cards, right, to play control. I put for things I hate about the economy, I also just put pool 3 experience. So like I agree with you guys 100%. I think this is the number one problem in the game. It's just one of those things where
just a perspective.
Go ahead.
Just to put this in perspective for some folks out there, I told you I joined 5 months ago. It took me $400 in 4 months to make a tree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That sounds about right too. Like, yeah, and you probably bought like 0 variants or anything with that.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
Nope, that's all credits and pro bundle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just think it's too much.
And trying to strew Series 3.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Gunny. Go ahead.
All right, pretty good. Yeah. We might have to skip our second topic and just go straight into our images.
Let's do it. Yeah, I was going to say, let's go into the images.
That was a good discussion. Yeah. That was a good discussion. Good. Like, I really enjoyed that.
You cut out for a sec. You cut out for a sec at the end there, but that's all right. It was only for like 5 seconds or something. You're back. Am I back?
Am I back? Yeah. Good.
Let's go. Let's do let's do AI deck images. So no big deal. Talk about it while I pull it up.
Yeah. All right. So what the kid does is he's going to type in some keyword into the AI. So last week we had Thanos Lockjaw, and then this like Sphinx. The AI generates the images automatically because AI is taking over, and it's going to be it's going to be iRobot pretty soon. And so we got the Sphinx with like a purple nose, and he kind of looks like Thanos, but he's also like a big beefy dog, right? So AI just spits out these images, and me and GunnyT have to guess what deck it is based on the image.
All right, here's the first one.
I'm ready for this. I'm so excited for this. I was hoping we were going to do it.
We'll see how good these are.
Okay. Gunny, what are you thinking, buddy?
First one coming up, I've got a big, muscly Iron Man looking dude and a small Batman Iron Man looking dude standing together. So there's two kind of Iron Man, and then there's like a storm in the background coming off of one of their shoulders. I don't know if that's important. And they're on some rocks in front of a big city.
This one's kind of tough, actually. I don't know.
That's a little bit of a tougher one, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Two.
I'm happy you already described it for the audio listeners, so that's good that we do that. People listen to the car, the one on the second man has a red cape, and he's a lot smaller than the bigger one, so I don't know if that's significant either.
Yeah, the bigger one.
The size kind of matters. Well. The cape doesn't matter.
I don't know if
the color is important. Yeah.
Maybe like not Black Bolt. No, Black Bolt stature. Oh, because it's like a different stature. They're different in stature.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
So.
Nailed it. That was good. That was really good.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Good
That's
job.
A tough one. That's crazy because they're different in stature. That's insane, actually.
Yeah.
Does stature have a cape? Yeah. She might actually, kid. She might have a cape. Let me see. I'm pulling up an image of stature right now. What is she? A 5'6"? Oh my god, we're sorting by upgradable. My god.
No cape. She has red. She has red on her thing though.
Yeah, no cape, nothing. Yeah, she doesn't really look. Yeah. No, they're just different in stature.
Yeah.
Nothing
like those, but
kind of looks like Black Bolt though, right? Like that guy looks like Black Bolt. Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
All right. All right, so we have an American flag looking thing. So it's like a woman with some face paint on. She has what looks like might be an American flag. It's a red, white, and blue image with some stars.
Yeah, and she's even got the red, white, blue highlights in the hair too, which is interesting. Yeah,
I'm even thinking.
Patriot. That's good because I was thinking like it can't be Captain America because nobody plays that card, and it can't be America Chavez because that card doesn't exist, right? So. Yeah, maybe Patriot. What do you think, Gunny? You want to go with Patriot as your guess?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so it's a
Patriot.
Attractive
something?
female.
It's just Patriot. It's just Patriot. You guys got it. You guys got it.
Okay, Patriot.
I actually just put Patriot into the AI, and this is the first image that came up, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right, sure. Look at AI going in hard here.
Okay.
These are funny.
Oh, here we go.
All right, so we got man in solitary. He's in looks like he's in solitary confinement, but this is the hole in the prison. So you go to prison and then like this guy's in the hole. Like there's nobody around him. They got to keep him locked into a dark room. There's steamy. There's like a steam room. There's steam in the background. He's got all black on. He's jacked. He's got like a Bane mask on, and he's wearing all black. So, yeah.
It's like Bane. There's some chains hanging on the wall and stuff. Yeah, like you're saying, it does look like a steam room or something like that.
So what is this guy? Yeah. He's got his mask on. I'm just thinking of what character is this? I mean, it's obviously we're not DC, right? So it's not Bane, obviously, right?
No, it's not Bane. And then I would think like maybe Lockjaw, something like just because of the thing on his face, but that doesn't really fit the style either. And because
there's no character.
Okay, so it's just like the deck. Yeah.
All right.
What do you think, kid? You got any hints for us?
Just the deck.
Or unless Gunny, you want to make a guess?
Is it something like lockdown or something like that?
Yeah, this guy's in lockdown. I was gonna try and get a better image, but I'm like, I want them to think a little bit. There's a lot of padlocks in the background. He's alone. He's confined. He's locked down.
Yeah.
That's it.
Nice. I couldn't see the padlocks with the shades. I couldn't see the details.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. That was great. Oh, this one's harder. All right. And there's a hint on this too, but I want you guys to talk it out.
All right. All right, so we have a woman here with her arms spread to the sides, down by her hips a little bit in like the shape of an Y. So she looks like she's making an A. She's got gold hair, purple skin, and a blue suit on with some electric type stuff coming off of her.
Ooh, yeah, electric. So maybe it's like electro ramp or something, right? Maybe it's I don't know, it could be one. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Not like Jean Grey. I don't think nobody's really playing that these days. Yeah, I don't know.
So no electricity.
Electro ramps.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
but how would this know? Right? And then at the same time, like, how would this know what? I don't know.
Oh, you want a hint?
Yeah.
Well, I'll say like you can like the background's kind of telling a little bit too in space. It's more of a. I'll say there's a. I can't. Maybe I'll show you the hint then.
Yeah, let's look at the hint. Oh, Hella Tribunal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how I was going to.
I couldn't have got it. Yeah,
that's why I got the hint. I was like, maybe they'll get to it somehow. I don't know, but like, I'm like, they'll never fucking get it. But if you look at here, it's like a Hella merged with Tribunal almost.
Yeah,
the AI's version.
It's funny. Yeah, now that you point it out, she's wearing the Hella gear, right? But yeah, she's got Tribunal's face. She got the
and she's in space. Yeah. She's cosmic. It's like
female Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen.
Okay, I could see that.
Yeah, that's why I put a hint because I knew that one was impossible.
Oh man, I never would have got that either.
Okay. I don't feel too bad.
All right. Oh, this one's great. I kind of love this image. You guys will probably get it right away.
Okay.
Oh, Mr. Negative. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is pretty sick.
Okay. Yeah.
It was a cool image. Why don't you describe it?
Yeah. I mean, we didn't explain this one either. We have like a scientific portal machine behind a black man, all white suit, and he has glasses, kind of like mine. Well, I mean, if you're not looking, I'm wearing aviators, so. Sharp looking dude in front of some science gear.
Oh, that's great. And he's got the white and he's black, so it's kind of cool. He's got the white hair. It's great.
That's true. Yeah, they got the contrast. Yeah, Mr. Negative.
Yeah, and he's wearing the suit too, right?
Yeah, that's an awesome image.
All right, I think this is the last one.
AI's taking over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see it.
Oh, I know what it is, but I'll...
All right, it's big idea.
Give it to him, snap.
What I typed into the prompt, was, I think I put like Jersey Shore Guido fist pumping. Just as the AI came up with. And of course,
Yes.
I mean, this explains it, right? Fist bumping
The
in the air.
Jim 10 snap. The Big Dumb Idiot stack. Of course, I had to include it.
Kid, describe this image for the audio. The kid,
I've posted it, but
okay. Yeah.
I mean it's for GunnyT. It was Big Dumb Idiots. Jim 10 snaps. It's like GTL Jim 10 laundry. It's got Mike the Situation, Ron. You know, you got Paulie D. You got all the Jersey Shore people. Vinny in the bottom. They're fist pumping. They're at the gym. You want to play? You want to do squats while you're playing Marble Snap? You know, you throw in this Big Dumb Idiot stack, and you throw down a big idiot, and then you squat in between. It's amazing.
I love it.
That's it.
Exactly. Hammer curls.
Hammer curls.
All right. Well, I think we talked for almost 2 hours here. Jesus Christ. GunnyT, what do you got to say to the people, man?
It's a long time now. Now, here's what I want to do. I want to give everyone. It's like if you're consuming, be it YouTube, be it you're consuming content, like you're a good player. Play against people who aren't, right? Just focus on learning things a week or a play session or whatever it is, and eventually you're going to make whatever the goals are that you have, no matter how much time you have. There are some fundamental things different about this game than other games. Earlier, we didn't talk about our least favorite game. My least favorite gameplay aspect: game does not incentivize finishing a game. No game of Marvel should ever really actually go to turn 6. Retreat at some point. Obviously, there's 50s and stuff like that, but realistically, you or your opponent should retreat, not going to win. That's kind of cruddy. I a game. I think all of us that are playing these games want to just see. They want to play to your. Feels really good when you make that minute decision that wasn't expecting, but it probably wasn't a game. Like it felt good because you did win it, but it was 8 cubes more times doing that. That being said, just learn, focus on growing a little bit better each time, and you'll be able to make it whatever goal it is you want to make it. It's doable. It's real doable. There's some fundamentals, and that channel is focusing on teaching you who want to grow a little bit how to get a little bit better. Some basic fundamentals, some thought process.
Yeah, I love it, man. And we'll have all your info obviously on the screen and underneath that people can follow you, because you just put out your first video. It's got over 100 views already. It's amazing. You're active in the Discord. You're active on the X. It's awesome to see. You're gonna help people out, and a lot of people are gonna get to Infinite for their first time because of you. Not because of me and no big deal us idiots here on this podcast, but you're actually doing stuff for the people, which is great. And I want to say thank you so much for coming on our podcast. We had a good time. It was good. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, thanks, man. We appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, man, you're welcome back anytime you want. Anytime.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, Gunny, man. Appreciate it. It was fantastic.
All right.
No big deal.
Yeah.
What do you got to say to the people?
Well, I like Gunny's message of positivity. I would say too, just to add to it, the grind in Pool 3 is really brutal. So if you feel like, God, it's tough, I can't win. They play Wong and I don't have Wong. I don't have anything to counter it. Yeah, everyone felt that too when they were in Pool 3. It is horrible, and it does get a lot better once you get through it. But look, if you're not having fun, maybe don't stress about it too much. Don't grind so much. But it does get a lot better once you get past the Pool 3. The game's way more enjoyable. So yeah, just keep grinding it out and have fun. Play stuff you like, and don't stress too much about rank or anything like that. Games are a great time. This game doesn't have the super serious tournament scene or anything like that right now. So don't even worry about it. Play the fun cards, have a good time, and rock and roll.
That's it. You're here to have fun. Fuck it. Throw down, clog lanes, play Galactus, be an idiot, and just have fun. Do stupid Wong, Black Panther, Zola combos, Wong, Mystique, Gambit combos. Who cares? You lose 10 games in a row, but then you get the combo once and you feel like $1 million if you don't care about your rank. It's just fake numbers. It doesn't matter. So have fun out there. It's hilarious. But yeah, with that, GunnyT, thanks again, man. Seriously, appreciate it. No big deal. people. Peace.
Woo!
Jim 10 snap, baby, all day. All day.
Yes, GTS.
GTS.